the last video, we talked about varying sentence beginnings. And this video, we're going to talk about the importance of using action verbs in your writing. We have looked at identifying verbs throughout this entire program. However, we haven't really discussed how important it is to use action verbs in our writing and the connotations and the implications that they carry. When we search to see if there's better verbs to use than the ones already used. And one thing we need to note is using linking verbs is okay, but using active action verbs is better. So I just kind of go through here. The essay that we're going to go over on the left is the original, and on the right is how we've changed it. I've gone through and changed it to give you an example. Also, it is imperative that you do not write in passive voice. And so we did a section on passive voice in the last textbook. And whenever you submit your essays, if I were your professor or your teacher, I would make you redo the passive voice because it's vague and there's a much better way to write. So we're going to work on active and passive voice throughout the essay, and then also verb tense. It needs to be written in the same verb tense. And there's rules about, I think if you're writing for MLA, you are supposed to write in present tense. I'm not sure about that. I think for, if you're writing about literature, I think you always write in present tense. So, but the thing is if you start in present tense, the entire essay needs to be in present tense. If you start in past tense, then the whole thing needs to be in past tense. So let's review. And I won't go through every single box here, but again, I like to work in tables because it makes it easier to break it down. So here is the original in passive voice. Since these dogs are known for their intelligence, they become a family member and they often go everywhere with their farmer rancher owners. And so we changed that to make it edited it for active voice. Known for their intelligence, families adopt this breed as a family member since these dogs enjoy constant companionship with their owners. And you can read about all of why all of that has changed. So here we go. Number 2, we have display, and that's an action verb, but we're changing has become to seek, because seek carries connotations. Has become just is blank and is, but seek has more connotations, and it makes your writing more vivid and livelier. Here we have, while the lab was bred, well, who was doing the breeding? So we changed that around to where this is not passive voice, but it's active voice. And dog owners bred the lab to be a hunting breed. But more often nowadays, the lab enjoys chasing tennis balls in dog parks. So now we have the dog owners are the ones doing the action. So here we changed have to exist. Here we have been living to have coexisted. This is dogs have many jobs. This is dogs were bred for many purposes. So I want you to go through your essay and identify all of the verbs. And if you have a linking verb, I want you to change it to an action verb. If you have an action verb, then you change it to something far more specific. If you can, not always. So here we changed the word is to possess. So let's read these 2 sentences. The Irish setter is one breed of sporting dogs used for retrieving birds because they have an excellent sense of smell. And then we changed that because they possess an excellent sense of smell. The Irish setter locates, points, and retrieves birds for hunters. See how much more vivid that sentence is. And I don't really think this needs a whole lot of discussion. This is more of a doing thing. So you just have to go through your essay and identify all of your verbs and then change them from the weaker verbs to the stronger verbs.